watching The Forum. I'm your host, Ashley Tate, and I'm here with my co-host, Christy Largent. And today we are going to be talking to the Museum of Northern California Art. And I'm sitting here next to the president of the board, Pat Macias, and the collector who allowed everything to get started, Reed Applegate. So thank you guys so much for coming on the show.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Well, we're excited to hear about, it's actually called MONCA, right?
Yes.
MONCA. Here
I like
you can
that.
see their, I hope you can get a close-up on that. Well, if you can't, it's MONCA, Museum of Northern California Art, right?
Right.
So Reed, why don't you tell us how this whole thing got started?
Well, for me, it was the collecting part of it. You know, Pat and our board secretary was the one that got the building, but my art collecting started about 40 years ago.
Okay.
Getting Northern California art, and it ended up being artwork from the Bay Area and Sacramento, clear up here through Redding, because we are a regional, or we want to be a regional museum.
Okay.
That's why the Northern California art. And there's represented in our paintings, sculpture, printmaking, drawings, photography, so a little bit of everything, and trying to have a great collection for public viewing.
Great.
How do you start a collection? I mean, how do you decide what you're going to take into your collection?
Well, it's just, I think you start with what you know, artists that you like, work that you like. And I just sort of fell into it, but then, like you saw, I started collecting about 40 years ago with the idea of having it in a museum situation, the work. But it was then expanding my viewing, or my collecting area to include things like from the Bay Area and Sacramento, clear up through here. And I'm still learning and finding out new, and that's part of the exciting part of doing this, of being a collector, is discovering new people and seeing new things. And so.
And then how did you become president of the board, and how did you get involved with this?
We were given a tour of this vacant building about 4 years ago now, by one of the supervisors. The building belongs to the county, but it is in the city.
Okay.
And they wanted a tenant, and they couldn't figure out what it was. And I knew Reed from before, and we kind of put the two things together and decided maybe this was the best location to open an art museum.
And you're located, tell our audience your location.
It's 900 Esplanade, which is right across from Chico High School, down the street from the Gateway Museum.
And when are you open? When is the museum open?
Well, we're not open. We're raising money to become open. We just got a 20-year lease on the building.
Wow.
So we need to raise $500,000 in order to renovate the inside. It's 1927, and so is the heating and cooling, so are the bathrooms, so is everything.
Oh, wow.
So $500,000.
Sounds like a fun project, though.
Oh, it is. It is.
So it's the old Veterans Hall.
It is.
And so what are you continuing a connection with veterans as you do this renovation and get the art museum open? Tell us about that.
Very much.
Well, we definitely are. We have been so grateful to them for giving us this space and letting us use this. And we go to their meetings. We will have an area for them to actually be having displays that change ongoing in the museum all the time. They just recently provided us with a very nice check to start our campaign off also.
Oh, good.
Wow, that's from the veterans?
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about what you have, this pop-up museum. So I'm very interested to know how you're going to make how that happens.
Well, actually, 3 years ago, we said we can't sit around and tell people about a museum without doing something. So we started, this will be our third pop-up museum, where we have very generous landlords in the downtown business areas who have a vacant store, and they give that to us for a month.
Oh, I love
This one in May will all be devoted to the veterans and their art.
Oh,
wow,
and where will it be located? Do you know
215 Main.
215 Main, and that's right downtown then,
It is.
near the college.
Now, when you dedicate it to the veterans, what exactly what does that mean? Does that mean that it's all their art? Does it mean that any of the proceeds go to what does that entail?
Well, basically, the art is what they've produced.
Oh, I love it.
So whether it is about their experience or whether it
Yeah.
is about the fact that they just do art because that's what's getting them through
Right.
is basically
Oh,
it.
that's
And
amazing.
because we're a museum, we don't sell anything.
Right.
All we do is, exhibit,
Right.
conserve,
Yeah.
and educate.
So how are you raising money? Matt with a stare.
Well, we're looking into all possibilities of grants and things like this through foundations and so on. And we have just got someone on the board who will be doing this sort area of
good.
Focusing on fundraising.
fundraising aspects. And so we just had our kickoff sort of press conference to start the whole progress going. So we hope that within 2 years that we can.
Okay.
And the woman's name is Joanne Morgan, and she's
very good.
a Stanford grad, and she has formed a committee in town
Yeah.
that will help her go out and get money. You know, this is Northern California art. We go all the way up to Oregon, we go over to Nevada, and we go down to the Bay Area. So this money does not have to come from Chico. It
Right.
can come from Redding.
Right.
Anywhere.
It can come from anywhere. That's right.
Anywhere.
Yeah. Well, you know,
That's right.
it's interesting because you were talking about maybe doing some sort of collaboration with your school, and I was wondering if you guys had ever done like a children's pop-up museum, because that would be really interesting to see, to get parents there. And you know, I know it's not the type of art that you deal with, but have you?
No, we'd love children's art, but we do have a wonderful outreach program to schools
Really?
right now.
Oh, wow.
We have acquired a half-size school bus that we take around to various schools with art from the collection to present to classes with class ideas for their participation
Oh, I
and things
love
like
it.
that. So,
Yeah.
And this is ongoing. It's we're finishing off our second year of doing this.
Oh, wow.
So
That's great. I love to hear that you guys are in the community and doing stuff out there with children, and you know, doing the outreach, because that's important.
Are schools the only place you go, or you go other places as well
no.
with your mobile museum?
We go monthly to the Boys and Girls Club, and we go to senior centers. They have been to the tourist shelter, so we've kind of gone as far as we can.
Yeah, wherever they'll accept art, which is kind of nice.
That's right.
You know.
And are there major donors underwriting your projects right now, or are you just sort of doing it piecemeal by this small donation by small donation?
That's what this committee is going to start targeting,
Okay.
are the large donors.
Okay, good. Because I'm thinking, who's paying for the gas as you go, you know, down out to the
Well,
various locations?
we have an operating budget, and I mean, we have written grants
Right.
and we have gotten
Sure.
grants, so
Okay.
Sure.
that's a different account than the
Right.
building.
Right.
So, oh, go ahead.
No, that's
I was just gonna say. So what's next? We do this all the time.
same thoughts.
Yeah. So what's next for you guys? What are you guys up to besides working on the 1925-year-old building? What are you guys doing next? What's your next big thing? An event coming up, or
Well, the pop-up is the next.
okay?
Is the next thing. And we're also, we have collaborated with the other 8 museums around town, around the
nice.
area. So we are called KMA, and we're going to be doing a museum hop
Oh, that'll be fun. Yes.
on May 9th and 10th. So it's a time
great.
for people to see all the museums.
In Chico, there are
Yes.
9 museums.
There are. Isn't
Wow.
that surprising?
Wow. Yeah. That's
So this
great.
is good for all of us.
That's May 9th and 10th.
Yes.
Okay.
And where can people donate? Just really quick, if they want to
Okay,
donate.
they can go to our website, www.monca.org, and they can pay PayPal, they can do it online, they can send a check to the address, which is also online.
MONCA.org.
Yes.
.org.
Yes.
.org.
.org. Okay, good.
And oh, go ahead. Go.
No, I was wondering back about the art. We just have a few more minutes, but what pieces have been the most popular, and what do you find people are saying, gosh, I hope I see that every time I'm around this. Be sure to include this in the next pop-up.
Yeah.
Well, one of the more popular pieces or at least from what I have seen, is a sculptural piece by David Gilhooly, who passed away unfortunately last year. And it's a plexiglass piece that hangs on the wall. It's of a shirt. It's about 4 foot by 4 foot.
Wow.
And he did a series of these, and he starts with the basic, like a shirt, and then he puts whatever humorous idea on front of it. This particular one has planes crashing on it, and it's called Hawaiian Shirt for an Air Traffic Controller. And it's bright colors. The shirt is bright yellow.
Bright yellow lucite?
Plexiglass.
Plexiglass.
And this, because given the size and the color, it really pops out, and people seem to be naturally drawn to it. We have another one that was very popular, done by a recent graduate of Chico State, Heather Larson, and it was from her Bachelor of Arts degree show, and it's a large painting of her wrapped in drapery, all of the Roman toga, or the Roman clothing sculpture idea, and also with a nod to Martha Graham.
Oh, the dance. The dancer.
Because one of her famous pieces was Lamentations, where she was covered in cloth. That's been very popular. Another one, a recent addition to the collection, has been a work by Maya Peoples-Bright from Folsom in the Sacramento area, full of animals. She likes to include little animals all throughout her paintings, and she puts drops of painting right directly from the tube. So there's a whole lot of different ones. We never know what's going to be, but there just seems to be certain ones that do draw.
Well, I would think of 4 foot by 4 foot yellow plexiglass shirt with crashing airplanes on it would draw attention.
I know before we close, I just want to ask, if someone does want to submit their art, how can they do that?
Well, we do have a acquisitions committee.
Okay.
For
and you know
purchase.
what? They're going to have to find out about that online, because we are out of time. So thank you for joining us, and we'll be right back.
Hi, we're back with Stephen Cummins, and he is we're going to have to start over.
That's okay.
Sorry.
A little off center there.
I'm off center?
No, you were fine.
He is?
Or shot drifted.
Stephen, you are the...
Director of University Public Events.
Thank you. That would have been nice too.
That's all right.
I was looking somewhere on here, I'm like, where is it?
There's a lot of words on that page.
I know.
It doesn't say that anywhere, actually.
No, I know.
You're the director of university
Public events.
okay, which
University
incorporates
public
the.
Chico Performances, North State
Why don't
Public
we ask
Radio.
you what all that incorporates?
Sure.
That would be good. We'll let you do that talking.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4,
University of Chico.
3,
Chico State.
2, 1. Wide shots up. 5,
I'll get it.
4,
I promise.
3.
She comes through in the clutch.
Hi, and we're back with the Director of University Public Events at Chico State, Stephen Cummins, and we're so happy to have you here. I did get that.
You did. You did great.
That's a mouthful.
I'm thrilled to be here. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Well, what does the director of University Director of Public Events do?
It's a mouthful.
It is.
And that's actually
Stephen, what do you do? Tell our audience. We want to know.
That's the short part. University Public Events is one piece of community service that Chico State does, and it includes Chico Performances, all the events that come to Laxon Auditorium in Chico. It includes North State Public Radio, KCHO, KFPR. We run the university box office, which sells tickets to athletic events and everything that happens on campus. So we're all about service to community, whether you're coming to buying a ticket to a basketball game or coming to see a show.
Okay.
It's about service.
So making the experience good.
Creating
Is that kind of what?
We should change the name to University Public Experience.
Yes, I love that.
There you go. Okay. Well, okay.
All right. So now, how did you get in that position? You're not from here. You're not from Northern California, correct?
I am not. I'm
Tell
not.
us about you, Stephen. We want to know.
well,
Inquiring minds want to know.
My wife and I and my daughter just moved to Northern California about 9 months ago. We came from the Chicago area, where I was the director of Performing Arts Center in suburban Chicago. So I've been doing, I've been in the arts presenting business now at universities, both in what we call Chicago and downstate. So I was at the University of Illinois for a while too. Urbana-Champaign, yes, yes.
Yeah.
You know your Illinois geography,
A
that's
little
good.
teeny bit, teeny bit. It's east.
There you go.
It's east of us.
Mid-East.
I know that.
Mid-East, not Midwest.
Not Midwest, Mid-East is what we're calling
So
it.
you were in the performing arts world and community, and you found out about this job, and you thought, what's not to love?
It's
right?
in Northern California. I mean, come on, this is paradise.
Yeah.
You know?
We have a place called Paradise.
I've
Did you
been
know?
there.
Okay.
I've had breakfast in paradise, and it's pretty nice.
So, I want to just say something about your position coming here from Chicago, because even though you did want to come and you looked and you're excited about Northern California, they actually wanted you as well, and they were really excited to have you. So Rick Ellison said that Stephen will hold a very important role linking the university with the community and our arts patrons through Chico Performances, the box office, and North State Public Radio. And his broad background in the arts, like you just talked about, will be a wonderful contribution to our department. So it sounds like all the things, all the experiences that you've had potentially could really raise the bar in Northern California and kind of getting out there to those outlying communities and things. And tell us about that part of your outreach.
Chico Performances has been a thriving performance series for many years, and we're just looking at what we can do to expand it, to make it a little bit bigger, better, brighter. And so we're looking at a season next year. We're going to bring in a lot of wonderful events and do some other interesting things, like take some events out past the borders of Chico and Butte County. So we've got a really wonderful partnership we're working on with 5 different arts councils in Northern California. So it's Siskiyou, Trinity, Shasta, and Tehama, as well as Butte. And we're actually going to bring a classical pianist working with those 5 arts councils, what we're calling the True North concert workshop and tour. This wonderful pianist named Alpen Hong is going to come and perform concerts in all those communities and do educational events with kids, go out to the schools. He's a wonderful teaching artist as well as being a fantastic classical pianist. So we're really excited about that. And that's just one thing of the maybe 40, 50, 60 events
And
we're
when
going
is
to do a
that
year.
coming?
When is
doing
that
that event?
That event we'll announce when we announce the rest of our season on June 15th, but those concerts will actually be at the end of September and the beginning of October.
Perfect.
And like I said, he'll be in those 5 different communities. It's a great partnership. The Shasta Arts Council here in Reading has been a fantastic partner, Deb Lucero, and we're just thrilled to have the opportunity to do it. So it's a great partnership between university and community arts councils to bring an exciting artist to Northern California.
And that's the kind of thing that really can change lives.
Absolutely.
I mean, we, especially the larger cities, get an influx of performers, but in some of the outlying communities, like you mentioned, you're going to be up in Wairika. It's not like performers stop in Eureka. So how amazing that you're going to bring this caliber performer. There's who knows whose life will be changed forever.
Absolutely.
Because they're exposed to this kind of professional.
Yeah, and I've been around those experiences where the arts can be transformative, and it just takes one kid who's sitting there in that audience, hearing that classical pianist for the first time to say, I'm moved. I'm ready to start something.
Right.
I want to do this.
How did you get into the arts?
How did I get into the arts? I was in some community theater things when I was like 4th grade, and when the bug bites you, it sticks. So I majored in theater in college and went on to do grad work in theater, and I ended up doing this. So life takes you in different directions, but.
But
right
this
now
must be exciting because now you're kind of giving it to the next generation.
Absolutely.
You're providing it now for the next generation. You know what that bug feels like, and now you're passing it on.
That's why one of the most exciting things I think we do, and one of the most important things we do, is our field trip programs. So 20,000 kids will come through Laxon Auditorium or like meet with Alpen in Weaverville or someplace and have that arts experience. And I think that is just fantastic because we're really working on the next generation of arts audiences, get them infected early. So we'll be announcing the field trip series around May 15th. to teachers in the Chico, Butte County area, and then they can start purchasing on May 28th. And again, great artists like, you know, musical artists like the Okie Dokie Brothers, wonderful bluegrass for kids. And I mean, these guys won a Grammy this last year for best children's album. Absolutely.
Wow. Oh my God.
And they're going to stop in Chico and do a wonderful concert. And so it's a whole series of those things. And they can see things like Pilobolus Dance, a wonderful modern dance company which will do a special performance for, you know, just that sweet spot of 4th, 5th, and 6th graders.
Yeah, that'll be
You know,
awesome.
get them excited about the
Especially
arts.
since they're taking art out of schools. I mean, it hasn't become, it's kind of losing its traction in schools. And we've had a few guests come on that have talked about kind of trying to bring it back into schools. So I love that the university is taking it back in their hands and saying, hey, we're going to bring the art to you.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
And because the federal funding's not there, so
Exactly.
let's be creative with ways that we can keep that going.
And that's why the partnerships with the 5 arts councils and all of those things are so important. Because you're right, we have backed away from arts education because we're so concerned about the staples, you know, reading and writing and arithmetic. But let's be honest, creativity
Is so important.
is probably one of the most important
Yes.
American exports we have.
I agree.
And so if kids can have that creative experience at Chico State at a field trip event or in their classroom when a world-class pianist drops in to teach them, it'll be wonderful.
Yeah.
And he's a great artist too because he doesn't just play and people go, oh, it's stuffy classical music. He walks in and he says, hey, do you guys play video games? Do you know how the first part of that one starts? And the kids are like, oh yeah, the mushrooms are exploding. He goes, does it sound like this?
Oh, no!
And he starts playing it and they're going, wow.
What a great way to connect.
Exactly. And I mean, in the first 2 minutes, they're like, connected totally. They're like,
That is so funny because my son loves, my little 6-year-old loves Angry Birds. And we had John Williams up. We were doing something on YouTube and we were playing John Williams and he goes, hey, that's Angry Birds. I'm like, no, that's John Williams. That's called Star Wars.
exactly.
But the connection was there and it's fun when you can do that, make it real.
And you don't realize that the arts and the creative arts are in so many things in our daily life. It's not just a concert that you go to at 7:30 in a big theater. You know, something creative is happening all around us all the time.
All the time.
Right.
Yeah.
It's so true. I'm glad you said that too.
Well, what are you most excited about? I mean, you've told us some exciting things, but can you let the cat out of the bag?
Let the cat out of the bag.
What things are coming up?
Well, we will officially announce our season around June 15th, and tickets will go on sale to subscribers on July 16th. What are we bringing? Gosh.
That you can't.
That I can say.
Give us a little teaser.
There will be this fantastic national symphony from Mexico that will be here next year. A favorite of, I know this station and public radio stations, Garrison Keillor will be.
Oh my God, you just said one.
Will be coming back. I said her name. I probably shouldn't have done that, but what the heck.
Yeah.
And there's some wonderful things. We've got some great dance companies, some musical artists who, you know, like I said, obviously the Okie Dokie Brothers are Grammy winners, but we have a few adult Grammy winners on the season as well, too.
Oh, really?
In all sorts of genres.
What's
my
involved
interest
in
now.
getting those people to come?
Big.
Yeah.
No. It's wonderful. California is such a fantastic place because, you know, first of all, we have so many artists just in California. So I have dance companies coming from San Francisco or people touring who just want to make sure they stop all these places in California. So we just get lucky and we say, you're on your way to Seattle or you're on your way to Los Angeles. Guess what's in the middle?
That's right.
Little Chico.
Right.
And we get wonderful artists because of that. So we just have great relationships. It's about partnering with people, and we make things happen. So we just had 2 fantastic events that we just added on this season, which were Louis Black and Jason Mraz.
Yeah.
So,
that was-
you know, the Jason
Sold
Mraz,
out. Jason Mraz
They
sold out
did.
in Reading in like 2 hours.
Yeah.
The whole thing sold out.
2 hours in Chico as well.
Yeah,
And we were just in the
crazy.
right place at the right time. So we look to have those great relationships with agents and managers, and we're able to make some things happen. So it's fun.
And it's beautiful up here in the North State. So,
It is.
I mean, it's hard to resist.
It is. People come into Chico and they want to stay.
Yeah. Well, Chico has a little flavor to it. I like Chico.
Yeah, well, the university makes a
Yeah.
difference.
You walk on that campus and you're in there with ivy and brick and it's just beautiful.
Yeah.
And you walk into downtown and you can, have a great lunch, and artists just get off their bus and just go, wow,
Yeah.
I'm not stuck in,
Yeah.
some
I know. I know.
hotel. I'm actually walking through a really cute town.
Yeah.
We
So
are
they
so
love it.
glad you're here, Stephen. You're bringing a lot of life and
Okay.
joy, and we're excited to see what kind of fun stuff you're going to do.
I
And
think it's going to be fun.
the collaborations, that's the neat thing with Northern California. It's not, you're not just sticking with only Chico, but
No,
for
not at
all of
all.
our viewing audience.
Yeah.
They're all going
Absolutely.
to benefit
That's our
from
goal.
the kind of things that you're doing.
That's
So
our goal.
thank
That's
you for
Chico State's
coming.
goal.
Well,
I
good.
love it.
Well, we are glad to support you any way we can.
Thank
and
you.
we look forward to maybe having you back another time.
Yeah.
We appreciate you coming on. This was Stephen Cummins from Chico. If you want to see a great show, talk to Stephen. Thanks for watching our show, and we'll look forward to seeing you again next week.